What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, for a couple of years now, it had been reported that Russian President Vladimir Putin was seriously ill. It was about 2 years ago when American intelligence said that they had been informed that Putin was deathly ill. It was less than a year ago I did a video about this where American intelligence as well as intelligence for other countries were reporting that, I think it was South Korean intelligence too, that said that Putin was suffering from pancreatic cancer and Parkinson's disease. Now, there is a British report from British intelligence that is saying that his cancer has spread to his brain. And indeed, Putin has been spotted in public, the few public appearances that he does make, with a spot on the top of his head, like perhaps a melanoma or something. Now look, of course a person like Putin has access to the most advanced medical care that you could possibly find, that you could humanly find. Immunotherapy, for instance. Immunotherapy, seemingly cured Jimmy Carter of his cancer that developed many years ago, through 2015. But it doesn't work for everybody. And recently, Vladimir Putin celebrated his 70th birthday. But if these reports are true, this is likely to be his last birthday. If these reports are true. And this is the thing. We've been hearing reports for a while that he was ill. But now there seems to be a step up in these reports. They're becoming more dire. They seem to be indicating that the end truly is near for Vladimir Putin, who has essentially been the dictator of Russia for some 23 years now. So I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment below from MSN.com. Vladimir Putin's death is, quote, imminent, unquote, as Moscow scrambles to find a successor for the terminally ill Russian leader. Report. Vladimir Putin is terminally ill and his death is imminent as the Kremlin struggles to find a successor for the Russian leader. RadarOnline.com has learned, and they're not the only one reporting this. In the latest development to come after months of rumors and reports that Putin, who is, they list him as 71, but I thought I saw that he was 70. I thought he was 70. And maybe he was 71. I have to look at his age again. In the latest developments to come after months of rumors and reports that Putin, 71, was battling several different conditions and diseases, a Russian Telegram channel claimed that the leader's death is imminent. According to General SVR, Putin's inner circle is fussing about who should be named the Russian despot's successor. The Telegram channel has claimed that Moscow considered placing a body double in the Russian leader's stead to keep Putin's allegedly imminent death a secret from the world amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. The attending doctors predict Putin's imminent death amid a sharp deterioration in his health, General SVR reported this week. In the inner circle of Russian President Vladimir Putin, a fuss began with an attempt to create a consensus around the idea of the continuation of the existence of the Putin regime after Putin. There is a general understanding that for some time it is possible to use a double of the president after the death or removal from power of the real Vladimir Putin, the channel continued. Almost all interested parties are ready to rally around a double who can be controlled. The only problem is who will control the double, and this requires mutual trust, which simply does not exist. Meanwhile, the main contender for seizing power is currently Putin's top security aide, Nikolai Patrushev. General SVR reported that Patrushev was one of the few individuals allowed to greet Putin on the Russian president's 71st birthday on October the 7th. Putin was rumored to be, quote, too weak to open presents or properly celebrate his birthday at the time. If Putin were to die in office, the Russian constitution reportedly states that the country's prime minister, which is currently Mikhail Mishustin, will become acting president for 3 months. The Kremlin is reportedly scrambling because Putin refuses to leave any instructions regarding his legacy should the 71-year-old leader pass away while in office. Putin himself refused to leave any instructions or confidence on what to do after him, preferring to withdraw into himself and perhaps deciding that the chaos after him is the best legacy. Be that as it may, the end will come very soon, the Telegram channel added. Power in Russia in a crisis situation traditionally goes to the one who turns out to be the most daring. This reminds me of Soviet Union. This reminds me more of the old Soviet Union when one of their leaders passed away. I'm talking about between 1917 and into the 80s. There was always a lot of secrecy, delays in the announcement of the passing of their leaders, etc., etc., etc. Putin in his prime was a very robust, healthy individual. Known for his physicality, known for being in great shape. And he was always a person who was making a lot of public appearances. But there's been a sharp decline in his health over the past 3 to 4 or so years. Usually people who suffer from pancreatic cancer don't make it past 2 years. So for the fact that if he does have it, that he's lasted this long is actually an outlier. It doesn't normally happen. But considering how he looked, if that was the real Putin, I believe it was, when he was with Kim Jong-il, it does seem to suggest that there's definitely something wrong with him. The way that he was gripping, there was some photographs where he was, video where he was gripping the desk with his fingers in a way where he was like he was trying to hide a tremor. And as we know, Parkinson's causes a tremor, all right? A lot of times people that have Parkinson's, they try to grab things. They try to hold on to things to hide the tremor. If you ever watch Michael J. Fox talk about that in his documentary, if you ever watch the show Spin City, you'll see what I'm talking about. They always try to hide it with grabbing things, because when their hands or fingers are unoccupied, and if their symptoms are being worse because of the medication wearing off, the tremors become very pronounced. He doesn't seem to have, when you're looking at him, he's not animated, he's not active like the Putin of old. He looks like he's standing still. He's just, doesn't seem to have much energy. Any energy. And his expression, his color looks bad. It looks like his color looks bad even when he's wearing a lot of makeup, which he obviously is wearing. I think that Putin is wearing makeup. I think without the makeup he looks horrible. He probably looks like a cancer patient without the makeup. And I believe these reports now. At first, I was very skeptical of these reports, but considering his appearance over the past couple of years when we did see him, the fact that he hasn't been very readily available recently, and this report about body doubles, doppelgangers, people who had plastic surgeries to look like Putin. We've heard about this, and supposedly we've seen them on camera. So, yeah, this is definitely something that I think it probably has a lot of truth to it. The big thing I'm worried about is, as terrible as Putin has been over the last couple of years, what's to say that the person that succeeds him, in the event that he does die in office, isn't worse than him? You know? Because think about, when you really look at it, Boris Yeltsin has really been the only president that Russia has had in the post-Soviet Union who really seemed, beholden into attempting to bring a free and democratic Russia, a free and democratic government to Russia. Putin seemed bent on not bringing back communism, but bringing back an imperial government, an imperial Russia. And, if that's the case, will that continue or even stiffen under a new leader? These are things you have to look forward to. It'll be sooner than we think. And how does this play into a world where all this chaos is going on? This is a country, Russia, that's still in the heart of a war with Ukraine. Plus, we have the blow up that's going on right now between Palestine and Israel. So, this is something I'm keeping my eye on. But tell me what you guys think.